Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaps. If you could all please join me for opening meditation. May all beings be well and safe. May they be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether moving or standing still, without exception, whether large, great, middling, or small, whether tiny or substantial, whether seen or unseen, whether living near or far, born or unborn, may all beings be happy. Let none deceive or despise another anywhere. Let none wish harm to another in anger or in hate. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaps. Good morning, everyone. We will continue today's service with the recitation of the three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandaps. We'll now have the chanting of the Juninai. Namandaps. Keshu tenin shokugyo amira sen ryozoku son zaihi mime annako muryo bushi shuinyo konjiki shinyo nyosen no shamatangyo nyozobu nyomoku jonyaku shonenge koga chorai mirason menzen enjo nyomangatsu iko yunyo sennichi gatsu shonyo tenku kushira koga chorai mirason kannon chorai kanchuju shuju meso hoshogon nobuku gero makeman koga chorai mirason mubi muku koshojo shutoku keketsu nyokoku shosari yaku toku jizai koga chorai mirason jippo myomon bosashu 無量小魔上三段一生修上願力中高雅将来未来尊根体保険知性権前言少女明大座大い座上女仙の高雅将来未来尊実法将来勝無し権限人図思安楽戦後尊厳上苦行高雅将来未来尊小無常無我と薬女水月伝女の一種説法無明寺高雅将来未来尊非尊部説無悪名薬無女人悪の不修人死心教非尊高雅将来未来尊非尊無量勉強無少種悪知識往生不退死亡内高雅将来未来尊画説非尊苦毒寺修善無縁了解水小逆前言少女者世修上小意根ナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダムナマンダム願にしくどく平等正祭道法大心往生安楽Namandavs. Our opening gatha will be Amida's Paradise, performed by Koichi.
We live most days routinely without much thought that we will never live this day again in all eternity. Each wondrous day is special in sunshine or in rain. In living will no pleasure fulfill fulfillment, loss, and pain. This is the truth of constant change. We'll live throughout our lives. With Dharma eyes, we'll see each day is Amida's paradise.
I will continue with the golden chain. Golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 And now I will deliver the Dharma Talk. Good morning again, everybody. I hope many of you, if you are members, have received this service book. This was the product of many people's efforts. First, so I want to thank the MAs, especially Reverend Patty and Reverend Tim, for helping me make this a reality. It was something that I can't claim as my own idea. If you do have a little bit of time, you can peruse through it. And then there's a little message from me, a little tiny picture of me. That's kind of an aside. I always, when I met people who like wrote books and they have their picture on the books, I always thought to them, why is this picture so much younger than how they are? And they didn't even write that book like a long ago. But now I'm one of those people because this picture was taken like right when I became a minister, and it's the only headshot I have, so now I kind of get it, and I'll stop like judging people for that. Anyway, so there's a little bit of a message from me in the front, but I wanted to explain a little bit further, especially this month, and now that everyone has it, to kind of go through it. And I hope everyone really makes it their own, being able to, write like notes in it. If you want to help with like the chanting, like, oh, you should slow down here or something like that, or just notes about things that maybe you find interesting or questions that you have. It's really something that you should make your own. And also I wanted to thank everyone who helped get all the books out to people, because that was kind of a monumental task. So thankfully we were able to get everything out safely without causing any unnecessary kind of danger for anyone, during the pandemic. So I hope everyone can enjoy this book. What I wanted to read through today was on page 4 is the Kyosho, which is the essentials of Jodo Shinshu, and it says my path. So as Jodo Shinshu followers, we have this very simple kind of list of essentials that we're supposed to know, or at least we should be aware of. And I took this, I wanted the format to look similar to our headquarters. So we are a branch of Jodo Shinshu, the Nishi Honganji Ha, which is also known very easily as like Nishi in Japan. But this mirrors the things that they want us to know. So the name of our teaching is Jodo Shinshu, the translation being the true essence of the Pure Land Buddhist teaching. Our founder is Shinran Shonin, date of birth May 21st, 1173, date of death January 16th, 1263, which we celebrated Gotane last month, so we learned a little bit about him. The name of our school is Jodo Shinshu Honganji Ha. Our head temple is Ryukokuzan Honganji, also known as Nishi Honganji. Our object of reverence is Amida Tathagata, which is here on the altar. Also, Namo Amida Butsu. They are not separate. So our scriptures are the sutras, the 3 Pure Land sutras delivered by Shakyamuni Buddha. The first one is the Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. The second one is the Sutra of the Contemplation on the Buddha of Immeasurable Life. And the third one is the Sutra on Amida Buddha. We also have Shinran Shonin's writings, which include the Shonshin Nebutsuge, the Jodo Wasan, the Kosho Wasan, and the Shozo Matsu Wasan. Also, sometimes we'll read Renyo Shonin's Gobunsho letters. So now getting into the teaching, the way of life, and the purpose, our teaching is attaining the entrusting heart, awakening to the compassion of Amida Tathagata, Buddha. Through the working of the primal vow, we shall walk the path of life, reciting Amida's name, the Nembutsu. At the end of life, we'll be born in the Pure Land and attain Buddhahood, returning at once to this delusional world to guide people to awakening. Our way of life is guided by the teaching of Shinran Shonin. We shall listen to the compassionate calling of Amida Tathagata and recite the Nembutsu. While always reflecting on ourselves amidst our feeling of regret and joy, we shall live expressing our gratitude without depending on petitionary prayer or superstition. And our purpose, the Honganji School, is a community of people joined together, revering the teaching of Shinran Shonin and saying the Nembutsu. We seek to share with others the wisdom and compassion of Amida Tathagata. By doing so, we shall work towards the realization of a society in which everyone is able to live a life of spiritual fulfillment. So that's, I think, maybe logically pretty easy to follow. The sentence structures are not super difficult. However, there are a bunch of words there that perhaps people may not be familiar with, or even if you're familiar with, still not completely grasp what the idea could be. So I wanted to maybe get a little bit into explaining what some of these terms may be and explain them in such a way that it's easier to understand. And in that way, this becomes a lot more meaningful, right? So right now, it's probably just a bunch of random words on a page, but if we understand what those words mean, then it becomes something that's very important to us. Now, the one word really today that I wanted to focus on was primal vow, which is in this first sentence of the teaching. So attaining the entrusting heart, awakening to the compassion of Amida Tathagata, through the working of the primal vow, we shall walk the path of life, reciting Amida's name. So there's actually a lot of stuff in that just one single sentence, but right now, primal vow. So there's two aspects to this word, right? The first being primal, and the second one being vow. Those are both translations, of course, and they were taken with the best intention, trying to make it the most meaningful and understandable, but still remaining true. Translating is a very difficult job, and so it's hard to pick out the words that maybe represent what they're trying to express. So there's perhaps other ways of understanding these two words, and one of the ways that primal could be is like maybe universal or at a base level, and the vow could be maybe wish or hope. And to help better explain that, I will now try to use a metaphor. So in Sacramento, it is getting to be summer, or at least it feels like it. We had a day that was like 100 degrees, I think it was last week, and it's been pretty consistently in the 90s. And so when people think of hot weather, or when they're in hot weather, I guess, what do you think of? For myself, I think of ice cream. I kind of have a sweet tooth, and I mean, among sweet things, I do really enjoy ice cream. It's hard to go wrong. I mean, unless you get like a really weird flavor, but even then, sometimes they're okay. So for myself, I think that ice cream sounds like a great thing to have. One could say that I wish I had ice cream, right? If it's hot outside, I want ice cream, I wish for ice cream. I just really hope I get ice cream when it's a hot day. So that's maybe one way of understanding my relationship to ice cream when it's really hot. Now, if I'm in Sacramento, everyone else is in Sacramento, are they also hot? Probably, right? Everyone in Sacramento in the same weather, we all have to deal with it. Some people have really good air conditioning. Some people maybe have not as good air conditioning, and you really get grateful for air conditioning when it breaks down on you, which happened. We had to replace our unit. Anyway, so if it's hot in Sacramento, everyone is subject to that same heat, right? No one gets away from it. I mean, you can stay in your house all day and like have air conditioning, and you probably should, but everyone has to deal with the heat in some way. Now, some people, and I would assume probably most people, would also enjoy ice cream on a hot day. So other people who are also subject to the same heat also probably would want ice cream. Now, this relationship between myself and these other people seems to be kind of disconnected, right? They can want ice cream separately, I can want ice cream separately. However, once we realize that everyone is hot, everybody wants ice cream, then we understand it becomes this kind of universal wish or want, right? Everyone who's hot probably wants ice cream. Now maybe ice cream is different to different people. Maybe you're lactose intolerant, and so you want sorbet, or maybe you don't like certain flavors, so you want a different one. And in that sense, perhaps we all want different ice cream, but I think we all would agree that ice cream would be nice on a hot day. What I'm trying to get at is this idea of the primal or universal or base, is that there's something among all of us that we all want. And what we all want is to have less suffering, which is the whole reason why the Buddha set out in the first place, is to end his suffering. But after he attained enlightenment, he wanted to share that and make sure everyone else also did not have suffering. This second part, the vow or the wish, this is this drive, this motivation, this want for us. That it's not simply that we want our own suffering to be gone. We just kind of, well, it'd be nice if it was. But we actively want to get rid of the suffering. And not just the suffering of ourselves, but the suffering of all beings. Because we recognize that our suffering is no different than the suffering of other people. Going back to the metaphor in the same way, the sun makes it hot for all of us. It doesn't make it hot just for one of us. We all have to deal with that. And so it would be nice if we all could get ice cream. And the difference that in the way that we live in Jodo Shinshu is we work very hard so that everyone can get ice cream, or everyone's suffering is lessened. So I hope that's one way of understanding the primal vow. Hopefully it made it a little more clearer. Over the course of this month, you'll be hearing from me a lot, and so I'll work on explaining different aspects of the Kyosho, and hopefully when it all comes together, it will make a little more sense, and it's not just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. So that's one part, I guess 2 words, one phrase, the primal vow, understanding it that hopefully all of us can get ice cream. I mean, all of us will eventually lessen our suffering. If you could please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Our closing gatha for today will be Farewell, performed by Ellie.
Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather around the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. Buddha's love will keep us safe till our work is done. So we'll meet again next week. Won't you take good care? Let us try to do what's right, always kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namo Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namo Amida Butsu, sunny day or rain. Namo Amida Butsu, strong in faith remain. Namo Amida Butsu, till we meet again.
If you'd all please join me in Gassho for closing meditation. May all my friends be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all my enemies be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. May all beings in the universe be happy. May they be well. May they be peaceful. May they be free. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 And now we will have announcements.